Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down a truly heartwarming story of a massive culinary culture clash. We're looking at exactly what happens when modern big city ambitions collide with deeply rooted village traditions. And as you'll see, sometimes the absolute best innovations happen right at that intersection. We're going to follow a young man who tried to bring a literal slice of the city back to his hometown. And, well, let's just say he learned some hilarious and genuinely touching lessons along the way.
Okay, let's dive into this central question that really drives our entire story today. Can a modern city dish actually survive in a traditional village? I mean, imagine taking something completely foreign, something used to sleek, air-conditioned urban restaurants, and just dropping it right in the middle of a rustic village crossroad. Does it survive? Does it adapt? Or does it just get completely rejected? Keep this in the back of your mind as we unpack this whole fascinating sequence of events. To really wrap our heads around how this culinary experiment unfolds, we're going to track Ramesh's 4-day journey in Sitapur. We'll go from day 1, his big arrival, to a pretty harsh rejection on day 2. Then we'll see a massive realization on day 3 that sets up a total triumph on day 4.
Let's kick things off with day 1, pizza arrives in Sitapur. Picture this. It's a crisp, cold morning at the bustling crossroads of Sitapur village. Everyone's starting their day, sipping hot tea, when suddenly Ramesh rolls up. He's just gotten back from a hotel job in the city, and he's pushing this vibrant, colorful new food cart. But he is definitely not selling local village food. His signboard proudly announces him as the Pizza Walla. Now, he isn't using those massive expensive city ovens. His setup is simple but super ambitious. Just a gas stove and a massive iron tawa, a traditional heavy griddle. He genuinely believes he's going to introduce his village to modern city flavors using just this basic setup.
But right out of the gate, communication is a huge hurdle. Kamala Bua, a very respected village elder, walks by, reads the sign, and completely misunderstands. You see, in Hindi, pija sounds exactly like telling someone to drink it. So she stops, squints at the sign, and asks Ramesh what this pija is. She literally thinks it's either some strange new beverage or worse, a brand new city disease. Even after Ramesh desperately tries to explain that it's bread with veggies and cheese, she just brushes it off. To her, he's basically just selling thick, stale roti.
And Kamala Bua is definitely not the only skeptic. Enters Suresh, the local tea and samosa seller right next door. Suresh represents the established local taste buds, and he is fiercely proud of his fresh, hot samosas. He literally claims they open the veins of the brain. He takes one look at Ramesh's pizza, mockingly calls it an English popper, and guarantees it's gonna flop. So right away, the competition is fierce, and that cultural wall is built high.
Which brings us to day 2, the village rejects pizza.
The real test begins. Ramesh fires up his stove and bakes his very first authentic Italian pizza right there in the dust of the village. But here's the thing about sensory perception. It is deeply tied to culture. Look at this wild contrast in how the village interprets smells. Suresh's samosas smell like fresh onions frying in hot oil. That's comforting, that's home. But when Ramesh sprinkles Italian oregano onto his pizza, total disaster. Dinanath Chacha, another village elder, literally pinches his nose. He demands to know who threw old clothes into the frying oil. To him, those exotic herbs smell exactly like burning foreign grass, old tires, and melting plastic.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Dinanath Chacha's reaction to the actual taste test. Ramesh hands him a free slice, but as Chacha lifts it, the hot mozzarella cheese does that classic gooey city stretch. Well, Chacha's absolutely horrified. He jumps back, completely convinced the cheese is liquid gum or a melted bicycle tire tube. He flat out refuses to eat what he calls raw flour and rubber pieces. It is a complete 100% rejection.
Let's move on to day 3, the missing ingredient.
By the night of the 3rd day, it's looking grim. Ramesh hasn't sold a single slice. He's sitting there, completely defeated. But as he's talking to Suresh, we finally get the real story behind why he came back. He didn't fail in the city. Actually, he left a really stable hotel job, making $300 a month. But in the city, he felt like a literal machine, just pumping out food for strangers who handed him cash without a single smile. He tells Suresh how much he missed the scent of the village soil, the dusty roads, and just the genuine love of his community. He wasn't chasing money. He just wanted to share his new skills with his own people. It was all about connection.
So, the crucial point is what happens next. Dinanath Chacha and Kamala Bua overhear this super heartfelt confession, and they step out of the shadows, moved by Ramesh's pure intentions
Chacha drops some serious wisdom. He tells Ramesh, look, you're trying to force a city perspective onto village people. A stomach only wants what it knows. He says, food doesn't just fill the belly, it has to touch the heart. The Italian pizza failed because it completely lacked apnapan, that deep sense of belonging and familiarity.
And that realization sparks day 4, creating the Desi Tadka pizza.
This advice is a total game changer. When the sun comes up, Ramesh isn't packing his bags. Instead, he's teaming up with the exact same elders who rejected his food the day before. It's a beautiful example of cultural adaptation. They ditch the foreign ingredients entirely. Out goes the weird foreign sauce, the rubbery mozzarella, and those strange-smelling Italian herbs. Instead, Kamalabua brings over her homemade, stone-ground, spicy garlic tomato chutney. They swap the mozzarella for freshly grated desi paneer and trade the oregano for local village spices. They are literally giving this modern dish the clothes of the village.
You have got to imagine the assembly of this new invention. Ramesh takes his pizza base, but this time he slathers it with Kamalabua's fiery red garlic tomato chutney. He buries it in freshly grated desi paneer, sharp red onions, and those biting green chilies. And then the absolute masterstroke. He drizzles pure desi ghee all around the edges before trapping the heat under a massive lid on his iron tawa. As it cooks, that ghee fries the bottom to a perfect golden crisp. The smell of burning tires is totally gone, replaced by the incredible aroma of a village festival.
Which brings us to the final act, roots and new beginnings. That amazing new aroma instantly draws a massive crowd. It is the moment of truth. Dinanath Chacha, hooked by a smell he finally recognizes, steps up for round 2. Ramesh hands him a hot, crispy slice of this localized creation. Chacha takes a bite, chews slowly, and boom, his eyes light up. He absolutely hits the nail on the head, declaring it tastes exactly like a magical mix of crispy tandoori roti and rich kadai paneer. That sharp garlic chutney and the rich desi ghee calibrated the pizza perfectly for the village palate. He loves it so much, he immediately demands more. So the pizza is now a certified hit, but there is one last piece of business. Suresh jokes that this new pizza is a threat to his samosa empire. But Chacha steps in again and proposes the ultimate Sitapur village combo. Ramesh's spicy, crispy tawa pizza, chased down perfectly by Suresh's famously strong ginger tea. It's the perfect business compromise. Everyone wins, and best of all, there is a strict guarantee of 0 foreign gum or rubber anywhere in sight.
This story about Ramesh and his little pizza cart is simple, but honestly, it is so profoundly powerful. It shows us that moving forward and learning modern things doesn't mean you have to abandon your roots. True success is all about the blend. When we take foreign skills or modern ideas and weave them into our cultural identity, adding that crucial apnapan or sense of belonging, we end up creating something universally accepted and truly special.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own life. What new, modern, or foreign skill have you picked up recently? And more importantly, how can you adapt it, flavor it, and blend it with your own local roots to create your very own version of the Desi Tadka pizza? Thank you guys so much for hanging out and exploring this story with me today. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I will see you in the next explainer.